All right, family. Well, you know what? My right hand has disappeared. You know, he had to go. But Ocean came up on the stage. I think I'll dialogue with Ocean for now. And then, yeah, well, I think we'll probably dip out, man. Praise the Most High. But yo, Wagwan, Ocean, Shalom. Are you over 18?
Yeah, hi. I'm over 18. Good.
Okay. And you believe in the full Bible?
Absolutely.
Okay, praise the Most High. So this topic right here, yeah?
Yeah. Hopped on because
Go on.
I have a couple questions because I heard you talking to the guest before you were speaking to the guy that didn't believe in God, right? I heard you saying that Solomon, you were describing the skin color, the race, the nationality of Christ.
Yeah. Christ is a black man. Black Messiah.
Yeah. Well, can we start with Solomon? Because I heard you say that you said Solomon said that he was black.
Well, I didn't say Solomon said he was black. I said his wife, who was an Issacharite, said she was black. But Solomon would have been black because he was an Israelite, and the Israelites are black. Do you believe the Israelites are black?
Excuse me?
Do you believe the Israelites are black?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's interesting. What do you think they look like?
They were Caucasian.
Caucasian like Jonah Hill?
Caucasian like Irish. Caucasian like Germany. Like that.
Okay. And what makes you believe the Israelites were Caucasian?
The biblical proof, history, where they got scattered to. They went into Europe, migrated over the Caucasus Mountains, later into which we call America, which would be white Americans.
Okay. All right.
It doesn't describe Christ nowhere in the Bible, his skin color, though.
Well, some people would argue with that one, and they'll say Revelations 1 gives a description of his skin color. Well, I don't see that as a literal description of the skin color. So right. I wouldn't say, I'd agree, you don't get a direct description of Christ's complexion in the Bible, but you get a description of his people, and Christ would have looked like his people, right? He would have looked like the other Israelites, right? Would have been the same complexion as them, right?
If we don't get the description of Christ, how can we get it of his people?
Well, because the Bible gives a description of his people. There's many examples in the Bible which describe what Yeshua's people looked like. So do you think, pardon? Show you?
Yeah, I want you to show me what you believe. Like, go, take me there.
Okay, sister, praise the Most High, let's do it. So we've got the book of Acts chapter 13 and verse 1, right? Here's one of Christ's people. And it says this about him. Acts chapter 13 verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, and Barnabas and Simeon that was called Niger. So Simeon is an Israelite, and he's called Niger, which means that he was black.
So, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead and finish fully. So
what do you make of this Israelite being called a black man right here? That Simeon.
Simeon right there, it wasn't, scholars believe that it could have been the Simeon who carried the cross for Christ, which wasn't an Israelite. That's the only ethnic person that was spoken about, the one that, so it's up to debate for that one.
So no, the man that carried Christ's cross was not called Simon or Simeon's sister.
Yes, he was. It was called Simeon of Cyprus. It was called Simeon of Cyprus or something. I don't have it off the top of my head.
You have to show me that, sister. Let me see. Let's get that account. Okay, yeah, I think you're right, actually. So let me read that. So Matthew 27 and 32. And they came out, they found a man of Cyrene, Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross, right? So yes, this guy's name is Simon. The other man's name is Simeon. But I can grant that Simon and Simeon are interchangeable names. But how would you say that this is the same man, bro? How would you say that this is Simon of Cyrene in Acts chapter 13 and verse 1?
Sorry, say that one more time. What?
How do you know it's the same man?
No, I'm saying that some scholars would say, they would make the argument of that was him. It wouldn't be an Israelite. They would make the argument. So neither, it's no black or white area. It's probably like gray.
Okay, but then the second point is, so how do you know that because it says he's of Cyrene, that he's not an Israelite though? Because when you look into that word Cyrene, it says an inhabitant of Cyrene, or it can be a native of Cyrene. So how do you know he's not just an Israelite from Cyrene? How are you certain that this guy was a Gentile?
Well, no ethnic person of color would be an Israelite. They would be a Gentile. It's been many you guys, I hear was listening to
So wait 1 second. You're saying just because he's black, he couldn't have been an Israelite?
No, he wouldn't been. Israel was one nation. There were one nationality. There wasn't an ethnic. It wouldn't have been an ethnic. No.
Okay.
When Paul went to Cornelius, Cornelius was a Gentile. Peter. When Peter went to, there's many places in the Bible in the New Testament where Paul and Peter went to the Gentiles. And
hold on 1 second. Just wait there. That hasn't got anything to do with this, because Cornelius, he's a Gentile, but he's got nothing to do with Simeon of Cyrene. Or he's not even of Cyrene here. It just says Simeon, right? So you're saying that Simeon of Cyrene is the same, or you're saying Simon, it says Simon of Cyrene. You're saying Simon of Cyrene is Simeon that was called Niger. Now, the only thing that they've got in common is they've got the same name, because Simeon and Simon is interchangeable. But this Simon or Simeon isn't being called of Cyrene. That's just something you're supposing, but there's nothing to kind of tie him to that guy other than the name. Because what I could equally say, sister, to you, right, is that this Simeon right here, because look at this, right? It presents these guys, it says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon. So it's saying we got prophets and teachers as Barnabas and Simeon. So we know that the apostle Peter, he was a teacher, and he's also called Simeon when we go to the book of Acts chapter 15. So let me just bring that out real quick. Acts chapter 15, and then we scroll down to, I think it's verse 9. Was it verse 7? Where is it? Just bear with me 2 seconds while I get this verse. Oh, here it is. It's verse 14. So the apostle James says, Simeon hath declared how God at the first did visit the Gentiles to take of them a people for his name. So when he says Simeon has declared, who is the Simeon that he's referring to?
It would be one of the one that walked with Christ in that part.
And what Simeon's other name?
Are you talking about when he called him Simon Peter?
Yeah, Simon Peter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how do you know that in Acts 13, it wasn't Simon Peter being called the black man? How are you jumping all the way to the guy that carried the cross when we see no continuity of the guy that carried the cross being a follower of Christ and becoming either a teacher or a prophet? Because you've got to now impose on the man that carried Christ's cross that he was a teacher and a prophet, and he was at Antioch prophesying.
Well, that's why I was trying to get, that's why you can jump many places, precept upon precept, right? Always start from the beginning though, right? But that's why I was trying to show you that Peter was sent to Cornelius, and Cornelius was a person of color. He wouldn't be an Israelite. So if he was trying to stop
a person of color, wait, where are you getting that from? It says he was a centurion of the Italian band. So you're saying Cornelius was a black man?
Italian isn't black, sir.
So, but you're saying Cornelius is a person of color, though. You not just say that.
And when he was in the, you guys are misreading that too. When it talks about the Italian band, it didn't say that was his ethnicity or his what he was. That was like it can't even come to the top of my head right now. But no, Cornelius was a person of color.
So why was what he was over, right? Why was his unit in the army called the Italian band? What was the significance of that? Why would it get that name?
I don't know why he got that name, but I just know that he was.
Do you think it had anything to do with being Italian?
No, Italian wouldn't be. Italians are not. Do you know what Italians are today, sir? They're not even white either, but Italians are not black.
Well, I know what Italian is. Yeah, Italians are people from Rome. They're from Italy. We got a place called Italy. Capital's called Rome. People there, we call them Italian. They make pizza and spaghetti. So anyway, sister, check it out, right? So why was he called the Italian band? Well, you know what? We're kind of even deviating from the point, right? Let me just prove
we are deviating, right? Because all these
let me just prove that real quick, right? So check it out, right? Acts chapter 13, right? I'm not gonna dig too deep in that because already, if you're saying it's Simon of Cyrene in Matthew 27, you'd have to say a lot about that guy. All we see is he carried a cross, right? And now he has to either be a prophet or a teacher in the church in Antioch. And we don't see how we've got that leap. You know what I'm saying? The
leap is because he became, how you know he didn't?
Hold up. The only teacher that we see is Simon Peter, right? So Simon Peter has more of a claim to being that Simeon right there, being called the black man. Simon Peter has more evidence because we know he's a teacher, right? We know Simon Peter was a teacher, right, sister?
Yes.
And we know he was a prophet, right?
Yes.
Okay. But do we know that Simon of Cyrene was a teacher? Do we know that?
No, but we know he was a believer.
Do we know he was a prophet? Where does it say he was a believer?
He carried the Christ. What do you mean? He believed right upon then. Didn't it say that?
No.
When he carried the Christ across, he became a believer.
Does it say it? Let's see. It says this. Matthew 27:32. And as they came out, they found a man of Cyrene. Who is the they?
The people that try to unalive Christ.
Romans, right? The Italians, all right?
They weren't Italian.
I'm playing. Simon by name. Him they compelled to bear his cross. Why did Simon bear the cross? Is it because he's like, I believe in you, Jesus, let me help you carry the cross? Or did the Romans make him do it?
The Romans made him do it.
So where does it tell us that he was a believer? Because I'm not saying it didn't say he's a believer, because maybe it does, because I don't know everything in the Bible. Like before, I forgot this guy's name was Simon of Cyrene. And I was like, all right, you was right for that. But show me where it says he was a believer, sister, because all I can see is that he's being forced to carry the cross. Romans are like, you there, ogre, carry the cross.
Okay, so all these other different straying away from the point that I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is that the Israelites were not.
I just like to make that point, sister, just to debunk your whole notion of.
I know, but you're asking questions.
Hold on one second. You're explaining away that the man in Acts 13 was an Israelite because you said, oh, it could have been Simon of Cyrene. But now I'm showing there's not really any credibility.
It is, because if you keep on continue reading, you have to read. Listen, I'm a student of God's word, right? Maybe I need to go back and read Acts, but I know for sure, for facts, I read that he became a believer right after that. I read that Simon became a believer after that.
Okay, well,
I want to get back on real quick because I know you said you don't have your right man here, right? When it should be the book of God should be your right hand, right? The word of him. I want to get back on the ethnic of you claiming that the Israelites were of the people of color.
That's what the Bible says.
It show me that. So you took me to that part. Okay, take me somewhere else.
So real quick, right? We'll go to the next verse, but can we concede on Acts 13, right?
No.
That Simeon may have been an Israelite.
No, I won't concede on that.
So there's no chance he was an Israelite then.
We'll agree to disagree.
Okay, and you're just saying he couldn't have been an Israelite because he's black, so that's what disqualifies him. In your eyes, him being black means he can't
Ethnic
be an Israelite.
people wouldn't. No ethnic person would be an Israelite. A Gentile, you would be a Gentile. That's their nation.
It's crazy that you seem to think that being black is a disqualification of being.
I'm black myself. What is he talking about, sir?
No, it's okay because you're black don't mean you love black people. Most black people that I meet hate being
Don't say
black.
that. That comes from a black woman. I love everyone. Color don't matter to me, like he said before.
That's what I'm saying.
Flesh and blood can't inherit the kingdom of God, so it don't matter.
Yeah, one second, sister. Just because you're black doesn't mean that you actually like love blackness, innit? Are pro-black. So obviously you're not pro-black, innit? So
no, I'm pro everyone.
No, you're clearly anti-black because now black.
How am I anti-black by stating the truth?
Because you eliminated the possibility of Simeon being an Israelite based upon nothing other than him being black.
So I have a question for you. So if you're claiming that the Egyptians were black too, so you're saying that your own kind put you into slavery then?
Well, they wouldn't be our own kind because.
Oh, here's the switch.
Yeah, because when you look at the word kind in the Bible, sister, right? The word kind has like the root word kin. You know what kin means?
Yes.
It means what?
I know what it means. Please
means your family, right?
Yes, your kin folks.
Family right. Means your nation, right? Egyptians, are they the same nation as the Israelites?
No.
Okay, so even if they're black, they're not my kind because, you know, they're different nations.
So then you're just proving my point even more because how do you come up with... So you gotta, since you said that, how is 12 tribes of black? You gotta point them out. Who are the Israelites of today?
Okay, so let's prove it, sister. So do you want to go to black, right? Let's do it in the Bible, right? So can
you're gonna use the... Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 50, right? I'd like you to go there and I want you to read something for me because I want you to see it yourself, innit?
It's not no longer about a bloodline, Destiny. Go ahead. I think I know where you're going. You're gonna go to the ships, right? Is that where you're going?
No, that's not where we're going, sister. Don't worry, sister.
I mean, that's in Deuteronomy. Sorry. Go ahead. Read it. I'm with you. Go ahead and read it.
All right. So we're in Genesis 50 and verse 8. It says, "And all the house of Joseph and his brethren and his father's house." So when it says Joseph's brethren, who is it talking about?
Go ahead, continue reading, sir.
Is that talking about the 12 tribes of Israel? That talking about all his brothers?
Yes.
Okay. Only their little ones and their flocks and their herds they left in the land of Goshen. And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen, and it was a very great company. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, and there they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, so were all the 12 tribes of Israel mourning here? Were they mourning?
What does that have to, what is this? Is this proving your point?
I'm trying to make sure you're following the point, sister. It's a build-up and framing the point, right? So were the 12 tribes of Israel mourning here, yeah?
What is the point you're making? I'm trying to get with you.
They're mourning for Jacob, innit? Yeah, would you agree they're mourning for Jacob? And the Canaanites saw the Israelites mourning for Jacob. You agree with that?
What does that have to do? So
hold up, let me make the point. Here's the point, because you're not following.
Okay.
It says, the Canaanites saw the mourning in the floor of Atad. They said, this is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians. So when they saw the Israelites mourning, who did they think was mourning?
When they saw the Israelites mourning, just go forth so I can understand what you're saying.
Did they think the Israelites were Egyptians? Did they think the Israelites were Egyptians who were mourning? Is that what they thought?
Listen, I can't just go off of just a couple verses, sir. I got to read the whole chapter because I don't understand what you're talking about.
Well, like, sister, check this out, right? You don't have to subscribe to my belief in it, but we need to follow what the scripture is saying. Yeah. So just be honest with what you see in the text. That's why I'm asking you questions. So verse 11 says, and when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad. So the Israelites here, you agree, are the Israelites mourning for the passing of Jacob. Do you agree that's
yes.
a fact? Yeah?
Yes.
And the Canaanites are looking at the Israelites mourning. You agree with that, right?
Yeah, that's what it says.
And then it says, they said, this is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians, wherefore the name of it was called Abel Misraim, which is beyond Jordan. So when the Canaanites saw the Israelites mourning, they said it was a mourning to the Egyptians. Why did they say it was a mourning to the Egyptians?
I have no clue. You asking me questions, I have no clue.
Could it have been that they had mistaken the Israelites for Egyptians?
Now I see where you're going with it.
Could that have been an answer? Is that a logical deduction? Not saying it definitely is. Is that a possibility? Is it possible that they mistook all the sons of Jacob who were crying that his dad had died, that their dad had died? Is it possible that they had mistaken the Israelites for Egyptians? Is that possible?
So you're saying that because they mistaken that they're the same color?
Before we talk about skin color, we don't have to talk about it right now.
Yes. No, I don't agree. They could have. They mistaken many of people. They mistaken Paul to be a Roman senator. I mean,
what did they mistake Paul for?
For being citizen of Rome.
No, that's not what they mistook him
for. Yes, they did.
No, that's wrong. They didn't mistake him for being a Roman. Acts chapter 21 and verse 37. No. You're close, but you're wrong. Verse 37 says, and as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee? Who said, canst thou speak Greek? Art not thou that Egyptian, which before these days made an uproar? What was Paul mistaken for?
Hold on, because 1 second.
Acts 21:38. By the way, family, I know you guys might be requesting up on that, but this sister's the last sister that I'm chatting to, man, because you gotta tune in next time, innit? We've got to give us some enigma to make you come back to the shop. So give me a following, Yawilin, and if you want to catch
I'll give that to you. I misspoke.
You can go on Hebrew Elevation. All right, sis, you can go on Hebrew Elevation on YouTube, and you can get all our content, praise Yah, and we'll bring the truth out, Yawilin, man, praise Yah. So check this out. So wait 1 second, sister. So Paul was mistaken for an Egyptian.
Yes.
Why was he mistaken for an Egyptian?
Not because of the color of his skin. It could have been the Egyptians could have been Caucasian. I can make the same claim.
So the Egyptians would have been African Caucasians. So you're saying that Caucasians are indigenous to North Africa?
What I'm saying is that I'm not going to get on into that. What I'm saying is that the Egyptians, I could make the same claim.
Could they have been Chinese? Could they have been Indian? Could they have been Mongolian?
No, that's all ethnic.
Like, do you believe that the Bible is all about the truth? Do you think the truth is an important principle in the Bible?
Absolutely.
So why are you not being truthful then?
Because you're not making no point. And if I can walk through my stance, then you would understand. I'm not able. You're asking me all these different questions to go take me here, take me there.
Walk me through what you want to build, break down, bring it out. Let me hear what you got.
Okay, so the bloodline for the Israelites started at Adam and Eve, correct?
Yeah, everyone's bloodline.
Okay, so not everyone, but was Abraham? Well, that's a whole different topic.
So you're saying there's people on earth that don't come from Adam. There's people on earth today that don't come from Adam.
Yes.
Who's that? That black people. We come from the monkeys.
What? What is he talking about?
No, I was thinking that might be what you say, man. I think you might say we come from monkeys also. Maybe we're the only ones that evolved.
Why would I say that? I'm a believer of God.
All right. So where do we come? Where does everyone come from? Who don't come from Adam, sister? I'm confused.
None of us come from Adam. We're not of the gene line of Adam and Eve. No.
Wow. How? Explain.
Genesis 1:26. Who was that male and female that God was told him to go subdue the earth and fulfill it?
That was Adam.
So if it was Adam and Eve, then you believe in reincarnation. Because if you go to chapter 2, it said he formed. It was a difference. He created these male and female and told them to subdue the earth. And he formed Adam, which would be the man from the dust. So it was a 2 different creation. So did he recreate Adam and Eve?
First of all, sister, I'm going to say I forgive you. Because Genesis 1 and Genesis 2, you're not the only person that struggles with these passages to reconcile it. Many people think it's two separate creation accounts, but it's not. It's given the same creation account in two different versions and perspectives. The same way, the Gospel of Matthew, then you've got the Gospel of Mark. It's not contradicting. No, it's just different accounts.
And how was Cain able to take? So you say that, right? So I'm gonna push back. How was Cain able to take a wife in the land of Nod if there wasn't people before?
Because Adam and Eve had other children. That's why Eve is called the mother. Because that's why Eve is called the mother of. One second, sister. Eve is called the mother of all living in the book of Genesis 3:20.
He's not called that because of all of us came from her.
So hold up 1 second. So was Cain's wife living? Yes or no?
Are you cool? Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay. And who was the mother of all living?
She was called the mother of all living because who would come through her line would be Christ.
So sister, check this out. Let me just answer this question about Genesis 1:26, right?
No, wait a second. I'm not going to let you try to twist that. She was called the mother of all living because who would come through her gene line? Christ would come through her gene line. Called the mother of all living because she created everyone.
She's been called the mother of all living.
So if we're all from Adam and Eve, then why is our culture so indifferent?
Sister, even when we get DNA, why
it doesn't make no sense?
Why do we all have the same DNA, sister? Why is every nation?
We do not all have the same DNA. That is a lie. We don't even have the same fingerprints.
Like obviously we've got cultural distinctions in our DNA, but we can see that we all share common ancestors. They understand that all humans share common ancestors. We come from Africa. They say that.
Two black people can't create a white person. Two black people can't create Asian. If you think that's goofy, come on now, y'all. You too smart. That's some goofy stuff.
Wow. Yo. Sister, yo. Yo, check this out though, right? Genesis 1:26, yeah? It says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. So you're saying this wasn't Adam and Eve, no?
Keep reading.
So when it says, let us make man.
No, keep reading.
No, sister, chill. I'm being respectful to you and it's my platform, sister. Just respectfully, just chill 1 second, right? When he says, let us make man, do you know what the Hebrew word for man is right there?
What is it? Tell me.
Yes or no? Do you know what it is though?
No. What is it?
It's the word Adam. So it says in Hebrew, and God said, let us make Adam in our image.
Continue reading it.
All right. After our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Is it in a play to two people? Is the them there? Is that just two people? This is talking about Adam and Eve, because guess what? Adam and Eve are both called Adam. Hold up 1 second. Do you agree that Adam and Eve are both called Adam? Do you agree with that?
Mankind? Do I agree? Yes. I agree with mankind.
So how do you know when it says let us make Adam or let us make man, or it could say let us make mankind in our image? How do you know that's not talking about Adam that was made in Genesis 2?
Because if you go to chapter 2, do you know what the article and the particle is, sir?
Go on, try and break down the linguistics. Go on, explain.
So yeah, when you go and you see, when it talks about God forming, it would be Aha Adam, which would be the man. So he formed the man Adam in the chapter 2. These people, God told them to go fulfill and to do, and it was them. It was multiple. Okay. It wasn't just Adam and you. I don't believe in reincarnation, sir. So if you're saying that, so this is what you're saying. God created male and female.
I don't believe in reincarnation. I believe in resurrection. I don't believe in that. Whichever Israelites believe in reincarnation, they've gone wacky. They've gone crazy in the head. I don't believe that. Well, anyway.
I know, but listen to it. But hear what you're saying though. What you're saying is that God.
Yo, don't be offended, my people. If you believe in that, just repent and we can talk about it. But anyway, go on.
Right. So what you're saying is that we see right here that God created male and female, right?
Yeah, go on.
And then you're saying that in chapter 2, he formed. To form something, you must create it first. So he created. So are you saying that there was two creations of Adam and Eve? It makes no sense. If you go and read, it's a big difference in the wording. He created the male and female, then he formed Adam from the dust to form something he was created.
Hey, what does Adam's name mean? You know what it means?
I just told you it means Aha-Adon is the man. He formed the man.
Yeah, but does it not mean the soil as well? Does Adam not
No, all this adding stuff, no.
Adam means soil, sister. It means dust. If you look in the book of Genesis, right? In
So
Genesis, man of Adam of the ground. It literally says he made him out of the.
I understand that. I get that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're not.
The Adama. The ground is the Adama. So it shows that Adam looked like the ground. That's why he was called Adama. So he was a brown man. Adam was even black, man. Adam was black. He was because his name.
That's adding. That's adding. That doesn't say that. That's adding.
No. You know why, sister? Because you know the word red in the Bible. Yeah. What is the word for red in Hebrew? Do you know? Or the word for brown. You know what the word for red is? For a reddish brown.
What is it?
It's Adama.
What is it?
It's Adama. You know, like you know about the red heifer? You know, like in Israel, they want to make a third temple and they got a red heifer. You know about that?
Oh my gosh.
You know what the red heifer is?
Continue.
Yes or no?
They're talking about the third temple.
You know what the red heifer is, sister?
Did you not just hear me say it? You're going all over. You're taking my. I just woke up, sir. Didn't even brush my teeth yet. You're taking me all over the place.
1 second. The red heifer is a brown cow, and the word red for red heifer in Genesis, in Numbers 19, the word red is Adama. So it shows that Adama means brown, like me. I'm Adama. That's my complexion. You know what I'm saying? All right, then, cool then. All right, sister. But
you're gonna what you're doing. You know what's sad is because I think Selena said that you guys are, I don't know if you are, but you're not a Christian and you guys support the whole Bible and you guys are believers of Christ and that's what a Christian is. And then so I hear you say some truth and then you twist it, just like what you're doing now. Sad.
All right, sister. Well, I consent to being a Christian. Yeah, I'm a Christian. I'm an Israelite. I'm a Christian. Because in the book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and 15, it says, if any man suffer as a Christian, let him not be ashamed. So, you know, Christian just means you're a follower of Christ. That's what they call the disciples. In Antioch, people say, oh, I don't accept that name. They don't accept it. That's on them.
But you can't be an Israelite Christian.
Yes, I can be, because Paul a Christian?
Paul would teach. What was Paul
teaching?
a
Christian? Was Paul a
Paul
Christian?
was even teaching his.
Wait a second. Paul a Christian? Yeah, your sister just answered that. Was Paul a Christian?
Am I able to finish? Yes.
All right, hold on. What are you saying? You guys.
Excuse me.
No.
Okay.
You want to finish your sentence.
So when Paul would go and teach which you guys would say your brethren, right? The Israelites, right? The Jews and the Gentiles. Didn't he say he would become a Jew to bring them to Christ? It has nothing to do about Israel. Israel is no longer a bloodline. It's spiritual now. We're all spiritual Israel. All in the one many body of Christ.
All right, sister, you're kind of taking it all over the place, but let me just land with this, right?
How am I taking? I'm just
because now you think the bloodline don't matter and all of this stuff. Like
Galatians 3:28.
All right, hold on, sister, 1 second, man. Romans chapter 3, verse 1 and 2. Romans chapter 11, verse 26 to 28. Yeah.
You know who the book of Romans was written to? Who did Paul write the book of Romans?
We're going all over the place now.
How was that going on? That was to the Romans. You know that was to the Romans, the Christian Romans, right?
Respectfully, sister, respectfully, man. Just one moment.
Wow.
Let me just speak. Just go on mute.
Now I'm going all over the place.
Just chill for a second, sister. And we're going to leave it there. So, you know what, sister? God willing, I don't know. Whatever God's spirit tells me, maybe you come back another time or something. But right now, I had enough, man. Praise the Most High. But what I will say, though, is in 2 Corinthians 11 and 22, it says, are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelites? So am I. So, yeah, Paul was an Israelite Christian, man. He followed Christ. He was an Israelite. Now, I wanted to ask the sister, if she's saying that Adam and Eve were not made in Genesis chapter 1, then my question is, well, does Adam and Eve, did they have dominion? Because is Adam in Genesis 1, who God said was made in his image? Is Adam in Genesis chapter 1, who God said he'd give dominion to replenish, to be fruitful and multiply and subdue the earth? So if you ever make the mistake of saying that Adam Adam of Genesis 2 is different to Adam of Genesis 1, you'd have to say Adam of Genesis 2 isn't made in the image of God. You'd have to say Adam and Eve are not made in the image of God, and they don't have dominion over the earth. That doesn't make no sense, man. So there's just yeah, man. Sometimes, you know, I tell you, like, so you can get tangled up in the Bible, you know, it can become like a rope. You twist yourself in it and come all kinds of confusing understandings and stuff. But God willing, Most High, you know, gives that sister some clarity in Yeshua's name and teaches her to love herself, man. Whoa. She literally thought that Simeon couldn't be an Israelite just because he's got black skin. She's like, black skin, no, they're Caucasian. Yo, I never heard no one boldly say that Israelites are Caucasian. Like, that's radical. That's crazy. Who's going to really say that? There's so many ways we can prove that's wrong. Like, for one, the Israelites don't come from the Caucasus Mountains, for one. That's how we know they're not Caucasian, right? For two, Moses' hand was turned white. He wasn't already white. Miriam was turned white. She wasn't already white. For three, the Israelites were always mistaken for black Egyptians, and she didn't even want to concede an easy point there, right? For four, Song of Solomon, black and comely, like, bro, there was so much. But we're closing out now anyway. I pray everyone gives us a follow, hit the YouTube